Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court at Law Number 2. My name is Judge Terrence Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. You have been asked to come to court today for either jury trial docket, announcement docket, or the pretrial docket. When I call your name, please come forward, stand before the bench with your attorney. You have any trees ready? Which one is that? What's the finish section? Hmm? Oh, okay. First case is cause numbers, well, the first two cases are cause numbers 23 CCCR 1259 and cause number M324960. Case of style of state of Texas versus Joseph Janelle Benitez Gomez. Where is he? It said he was here.
I have not seen him this morning. He may be outside, Your Honor. So I'm looking for him in here.
Joseph Gomez? Could you said he was here. Could you call that name?
What is that on?
Page 5 of the announcement docket.
I'm not sure what felony to Andrew. I want to say they moved it.
He has a felony?
He does, Your Honor.
Oh,
Okay.
that's, I told him he checked in and he went to DC.
Okay, so he has a felony. Next case is cause number 23 CCCR 2492. Case is style of state of Texas versus Chase Nassim Zeno. Mr. Zeno, would you come forward?
You speak up so the judge can.
Mr. Zeno, your full name is Chase Nassim or Nashawn Zeno? Nation Zeno. How are you doing, Mr. Zeno?
Good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Zeno, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Padgett, Attorney Padgett. How are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Padgett, the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge.
And Mr. Padgett, what is your announcement in Mr. Zeno's case?
Okay, the state is going to dismiss for forfeiture.
Oh, is it signed? Do y'all
I'm trying
have?
to get it delivered right now, Judge.
Okay. Y'all have the forfeiture already?
Yes, Your Honor.
I printed out the probable cause and I'm just going up forfeiture, but I need this to actually load.
Okay. Mr. Zeno, would you please raise your right hand? Zeno, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Zeno, you may put your hand down. Mr. Zeno, I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Forfeit. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Zeno, before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Zeno, are you requesting that the court grant your motion
Yes, sir.
to forfeit the weapon to the Beaumont Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Zeno, the court is signing the motion to forfeit the weapon. In this case, to the Beaumont Police Department. Yeah, okay. I don't have, could you send that dismissal to me? Yeah, I have. Oh, this is Barajas.
I'm just sending it to you. Hold up, and hold up on that.
It's on the notch of that. Hey, Mr. Zeno, I have before me a motion to dismiss that was filed by the district attorney's office in this case. I'm signing this motion to dismiss. Your attorney will get a copy. And once you receive a copy from your attorney, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. You should be receiving a copy in about 1 minute. All right,
This is-
just please, y'all can have, you can stand before the court coordinator and get your copy.
This is Mr. Benitez Gomez, who was checked in at the criminal district court, is now here.
Okay.
He was confused, Your Honor. He doesn't have a felony till next month.
Okay, next two cases are cause numbers 23 CCCR 1259 and cause number M324960. Both cases are styled as State of Texas versus Joseph Janelle Benitez Gomez. Mr. Gomez, your full name is Joseph Janelle Benitez Gomez. How are you doing, Mr. Benitez Gomez? You doing great? That's good. Mr. Benitez Gomez, you're represented in your case, on your cases by your attorney James Paget. Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in these cases?
Your Honor, we were hoping to move forward today. Unexpectedly, the criminal district court moved his case to the 30th of July.
Let me-
so-
Okay, go ahead on. I was looking at, he has two cases. You say he has three cases?
He has three, one, James, and Irish.
Oh, he has another case
Yeah.
back here on page 8, clause number 23 CCCR 1260.
What is that charge, Your Honor?
I failed the drug test falsification device.
20?
Let's see, I'll answer.
This one was just, this offense date was May 20th. Actually, it was the same date of the carrying a weapon case. I guess they filed it late for some reason.
I think they did, but don't worry about it, Your Honor, because, I'm a good client and I'll stand behind him and I'll be filing a letter of representation today to fix that problem. I assure you.
Okay, now the other deal, I was looking at this, I know you say he has a felony case,
Right.
but
And then he has
the previous case, the earlier case is M324960. This is a pretty old case.
It's an observer, Your Honor.
Oh, it's a motion to revoke probation.
Yes, Your Honor,
Okay.
and I assure you that what we work out down there is going to intertwine with this and we'll be able to dispose of everything.
Okay,
I didn't ask for the reset. For some reason, the court moved us to the 30th.
the felony court,
Maybe
Okay.
because of their trial schedule, but I
Okay.
did not request the reset.
okay,
Received it by email.
okay, now, you want this case set on the same
We
date
put
of
them
the
on
felony?
Same day because.
And what was that felony date?
7:30, July the 30th, 9 AM.
Okay,
That would certainly help with coordinating the outcomes on these cases. And I'll, if you would
Gotta
allow
file a
me
letter of rep on it.
to take care of that letter of rep, I'll get the case number from,
His felony is July 30th?
Yeah, that's what he said.
it is July 30th, and Mr. Hugel has confirmed that as well, Your Honor.
Okay,
Could you
Mr.
tell me-
Benitez Gomez, your case is gonna be reset on the same day of felony case. Mr. Paget is going to get your resets on your first two cases, and your third case, you'll get the reset.
And I will take care of that today.
Okay, so stand in front of the court coordinator. Okay, Mr. Paget, do you have any more cases?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a rave in January, but I'm working on signing her up. So
Okay,
we're getting
okay,
the paperwork
we'll hold
going
on.
that. Yes, Your Honor.
She showed up.
She's on her way right now. She should be here shortly. The case is gonna be disposed of by.
Okay.
If you'll just give me time to get the paperwork.
Okay.
The one that's in.
Okay.
I'll holler at you. You want me to holler at you or her? Which one you want me to go? You, her?
What, oh, here, yes, here it is. Next case is cause number 23 CCCR 1976. Case is style of state of Texas versus Luis A. Barajas Rodriguez. Good morning. This is cause number 23 CCCR 1976. Case is style of state of Texas versus Luis A. Barajas Rodriguez. Mr. Barajas Rodriguez, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Barajas Rodriguez, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Barajas Rodriguez, you may put your hand down. How are you doing?
All right.
You doing all right? That's good. I'm Mr. Barajas Rodriguez. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Nolan LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. LeBlanc, you waive a record in Mr. Barajas Rodriguez case?
We do.
Okay. Mr. Barajas Rodriguez, I have before me a document on my computer that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Luis A. Barajas Rodriguez, on or about June 4th, 2023, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Barajas Rodriguez, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, there's no comment.
Oh, okay, so Mr. Barajas Rodriguez, your attorney said you're pleading no contest. Are you pleading guilty or are you pleading no contest? No contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Rojas Rodriguez, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contingere, which means no contest. Did you place your initial CB on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Sir.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you understand this document? Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked.
Yes.
Box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document on paper that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Rojas Rodriguez, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Rojas Rodriguez, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State officers one.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. LeBlanc, you advising counsel, Mr. Rojas Rodriguez, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Rojas Rodriguez, your attorney, Mr. LeBlanc has advising counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Rojas Rodriguez, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea of no contest, the state's offering 180 days probate over 1 year, $750 fine, 60 hours community service, DWI education, interlock and court costs.
Okay. What is the court cost in this case?
For 77. And then
Yes.
You want to wait and see what you can do. One of my.
Okay. Mr. Rojas Rodriguez, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 12 months. During the 12-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750, a DPS fine of $100. You'll be required to pay court costs of $377, a probation fee, $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation is $195 a month. Will you be able to pay the $195 each month?
Yes.
You'll also be required to pay $60, well, you'll be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, have a drug and alcohol assessment, attend and complete a DWI education class, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Now, Mr. Barojas Rodriguez, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Mr. Barojas Rodriguez, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Barojas Rodriguez, you're gonna stand in front of our court coordinator. You need to follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following their directions, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And Mr. LeBlanc, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
Next case is cause number M 333-924. Case of style of state of Texas versus Aaron Britt. Jury trial docket page 1.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. This is cause number M 333-924. Case of style of state of Texas versus Aaron Britt. Ms. Britt, is that your full name?
Yes.
Ms. Britt, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Britt, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Ms. Britt, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Britt?
I'm all right.
That's good. Mr. Britt, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Mark Faggart. Attorney Faggart, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you for asking.
Mr. Faggart, do you waive a record in Ms. Britt's case?
We do.
Ms. Britt, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Ms. Britt, it alleges that you, Aaron Britt, on or about November 10th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Ms. Britt, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yeah.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Ms. Britt, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials EB, and they are on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document on paper that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Ms. Britt, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Fagger, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Fagger went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Britt, are you a citizen of the United States?
Stay up for states one.
Any objections?
None.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Faggot, you've invited counsel, Ms. Britt. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None whatsoever,
And
Judge.
Ms. Britt, your attorney, Mr. Faggot, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Ms. Britt, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For defendant's plea of no contest, the state is offered 1 year deferred probation with a $300 fine and 40 hours community service.
Okay, Mr. Faggot, were you appointed in this case?
I was, Your Honor.
And what is her court cost?
77.
$277?
Yes.
Ms. Britt, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $158 a month. Will you be able to pay the $158 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 40 hours community service and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Ms. Britt, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer? Ms. Britt, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Ms. Britt, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney, Mr. Faggart, about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Mr. Britt, you're gonna stand next to our bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her direction, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. And Mr. Faggart, this is your only case?
No, I have Mr. Anderson and I needed to visit with the court about that. I visited with Mr.
Okay, hold on, but that is he.
I'm on pre-trial, Your Honor.
Okay, Christopher Anderson. Christopher L. Anderson. Okay, now this case is cause number M328-148, case of style state of Texas versus Christopher L. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Anderson? Okay, can't be better than being blessed. Now, Mr. Anderson, you represented your case. Your attorney, Attorney Moore Faggart. Attorney Faggart, what is your announcement in Mr. Anderson's
Your
case?
Honor, we have a plea bargain agreement worked out with the state. The issue today is Mr. Anderson informed me that he still does not have a job and he would not be able to pay the restitution or any of the probation fees. The state, as part of the plea bargain agreement, has agreed to waive the fines and the cost in the case, but he is very much concerned about, without a job, how he could make the restitution payment and then pay the necessary probationary fees without a job. So he would ask the court for one more reset on this case to allow him to try to find a job.
We reset the case the last time for him to try to find a
I
job.
understand, Your Honor.
I mean, so how long are we gonna keep resetting the case? It could take him a year or 2 years to find a job.
I don't know, Your Honor. I thought he would probably have one as he did as well.
Okay.
So whatever extension you can give us would be.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna give him an extension. We just may have to just set it on trial docket because state is not making no alternative offers in this case. I mean, I understand that the restitution is involved, but this is a 2020 case. Okay, this is 2024. We can't keep waiting around for this guy to find a job.
I'm not trying.
Okay, well, I understand that, but this occurred 4 years ago.
Right.
All right, so we can just set it, we just put it on a trial docket, or and maybe by the time you come back out on the trial docket, you may have a job. If not, we just crank it up and go to trial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay,
About how long will it be before it's on the trial?
okay.
Thank you.
Well, I may be on vacation, but we'll see.
Well, let's make sure he's not on vacation because we're not gonna reset it again.
Let me see when I'm gone. Hang on, Christopher.
Have you been to the Texas, have you been to the Texas workforce? Okay, yeah, I got this here. Okay, I'm gonna give you this is probably when you first came to court, we told you about a program that they have at Lamar University called CICE. If you came here for arraignment and he was appointed, I discussed it at all arraignments. The CIC, they have a program, a job training and a job placement program, which is free. Doesn't cost you anything but time. And so there's a number on there that you can call. They give you training in the hotel industry, the shipping industry, or the chemical industry. And once you're trained in one of those areas, they will assist you at getting a job in the area that you're trained in. Okay? So you might need to call that number that may provide some assistance for you to get a job.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You know, we said.
Here.
What day are you gonna reset it? August 26th?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You welcome. It's Gilthorpe. You have a case on the docket?
I'm here for Mr. Galmore.
Oh, okay,
We have a plan waiting on the tablet to sign it up.
okay. So that's Max Linthicum?
No,
Which one?
Chris Dollins.
Those on the job list, Your Honor.
Elmore?
Oh, Valmo's on vacation.
Okay, but you gotta put his case on the docket because he's signing up for the gentleman.
Who?
I don't see him on this here docket sheet. You could, what's his name?
Chris Dollins.
What document?
Trial, supposed to be on the jury trial docket. But it's not on there. Chris Dollins. They probably did, but we need to put it back up, document because Gilthorpe.
You have that conflict?
No, ma'am.
Okay, what's your name?
Chris Dollins.
Is it Dollins?
Dollins.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Okay, you guys in chill. Mr. Reynolds, you're here on Caden Brown?
Yes, sir, I understand.
He's in custody?
Yes, I believe he has a pending felony, and I asked that his case be reset along with his felony.
Okay, do we know what happened with the felony today?
As of now, it's nothing in the computer.
Nothing in the computer. If it settles, maybe actually put on the next jail.
Which will be Thursday.
Yeah, if they don't.
Well, if it gets jail time, now if it's probation, he'll be getting out of jail. So we would have to handle that today. Yeah, instead of, resetting it 30 days. Can we find out whose court is he in?
Within the 2 52nd, somebody tell you who the lawyer is.
Okay, yeah, they can, she can look it up.
Just 1 second, I'm trying to put this person.
It's Brown, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's Caden Brown.
He's in CDC. Here,
Who's the prosecutor or the defense attorney?
Yeah, Caden Brown,
Yeah,
he's the CDC.
yeah, they say Dusler is the defense attorney and Ham is the prosecutor.
Let me go ask.
Okay. All right, we'll hold on.
Okay, Dollars is back on.
Sir, what's your name? You here on the case?
No, sir, I was here with my law partner.
Okay, he was here earlier. Okay. Oh, you are, okay. Got it, I have it. Mr. Patrick, you still working on it? Yours?
I'm just waiting for you.
I sent the plea in as well.
Okay, okay. Burbank. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, um, those of you who are here and your attorney is not here, your attorney may be in another court, handling another matter, so we'll wait for your attorney to arrive. Normally on days like today, when we have misdemeanor cases and felony cases, the felony cases take priority over the misdemeanor cases. And so your attorney may be in one of the district courts handling a felony case. Okay, we'll be in recess.
How hits it last time?
Boje? Must be,
None of that stuff matches up.
oh, it's Mississippi? Oh, I thought it was Louisiana. Okay. Boje. Okay, Mr. Boje, would you please come forward? This is cause number 23CCCR 0451. Case is Tyler, State of Texas versus Tyler Noel Boje. Mr. Boje, is that your full name?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Boje, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Boje, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Boje?
Good, Judge.
That's good. Now, Ms. Boje, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Brennan Mitchell. Attorney Mitchell, how are you doing?
Fantastic, Your Honor.
Mr. Mitchell, do you waive a record in Mr. Boje's case?
Yes, Judge.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Boje, I have before me a document on my computer that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet alleges that on or about March 5th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of DWI. The state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph. Is that correct, state?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And because the state is abandoning an enhancement paragraph, Mr. Boje, you will not be charged with a Class A misdemeanor DWI. You'll be charged with a lesser included offense, a Class B misdemeanor off DWI. Do you understand that?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Now, to the Class B misdemeanor DWI first, which allegedly occurred on or about March 5th of 2023, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Judge.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Judge.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Boje, I also have before me a document on my tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Judge.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, TB, and they are on a line next to a box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Judge.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, Judge.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Judge.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
It is.
Mr. Boje, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, Judge.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, Judge.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Mr. Boje, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yep, for stage 1.
Any
No
objection?
objection, Judge.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Mitchell, you've advised in counsel, Mr. Boje, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, he's good, Your Honor.
And Mr. Boje, your attorney, Mr. Mitchell, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Judge.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Boje, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For defense plea, the state has offered 180 days probated over 15 months with a $750 fine, 80 hours community service, the installation of an airlock device, and DWI senior first conditions of probation.
Okay. 7. What's the court cost?
32.
$392. Okay, Mr. Bojack, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you're not required to serve any time in Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750, a DPS fine of $100. You'll be required to pay a court cost of $392. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $6 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installment, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $170 a month. Will you be able to pay the $170 each month? You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI national evaluation fee of $125. And on the date of the plea, if you are required an additional fee, you'll be required to pay an additional fee of $50 if they're needed to do a follow-up on the evaluation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Judge.
Now, you'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you want to operate, attend and complete DW education class, have an alcohol assessment, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Mr. Bojack, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Judge.
And do you understand the state's plea?
Yes.
Do you accept the state's plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. This will conclude your case. You're gonna stand in front of our court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. You're welcome.
Do you need me again right now, or may I step out?
You can step out. Okay, now, Mr. Reynolds,
Yes, sir. Caden Brown.
on Caden Brown, what did we find out?
I went next door to CDC and he has requested a trial.
Okay, so his case is gonna be reset.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll reset this case on the same day of his felony case, Caden Brown. He's gonna have a reset for trial. Okay, we'll send you a reset to you.
Thank
All right, you free to go and you have a blessed day. Good morning, how you doing? We just doing a dismissal on Raven and
She has enough.
Yes, well,
Hmm?
there's a plea with January as well.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that right now, I just had a dismissal.
No, wrong one. That's from answering modification stuff. That printed to me. You know, it's what they said. I don't know if you can have that, so.
Let me grab my phone.
It's not kidding.
He came in here,
They were here? Okay.
yeah.
Wait. I thought I was imagining. Last week.
Okay, this is cause numbers. Well, we're in session and cause numbers 23 CCCR 1020 and cause number 23 CCCR 1022. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Raven Iman January. Ms. January, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. January, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. January, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Ms. January, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. January?
I'm finding yourself.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. January, you're represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, do you waive a record in Ms. January's cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. January, cause number 23 CCCR 1022. I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Raven Iman January, on or about March 30th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Ms. January, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Ms. January, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have the right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Ms. January, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Paget, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents that he went over?
Yeah.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. January, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State offer states one.
No objections to stage one.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Paget, you advised and counseled Ms. January. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None, Your Honor.
And Ms. January, your attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Ms. January, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendants plead guilty, the state's offering 1 year deferred, $500 fine, 60 hours community service, court costs, DWI education, and interlock. And the state will also be dismissing the companion case 23 CCCR 1020.
Okay. What is her co-cost? Okay, Miss January. The state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $392. You'll be required to pay a DPS fine of $100. $60 a month probation fee, $15 a month. Your analysis fee, $15 a month, and a $15 flat reimbursement fee. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay. In this case, is $173 a month. Will you be able to pay the $173 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be, this case will be, you'll also be required to perform the other standard terms and conditions of probation. And the state will be dismissing cause number 23 CCCR 1020. Now, Miss January, do you have a commercial driver's license?
I'm in class right now.
Okay,
She does not. She has a class C right now.
you have a regular driver's license? I mean, you shaking?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Now, Miss January. The court is gonna follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. January, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your case, and you will qualify for a non-disclosure. Now, before that, I should have asked, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer is fair and just?
Yeah.
And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, so I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Let's see, dismiss. And the state again will be dismissing cause number 23 CCCR 1020. Now, again, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record. You may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. You're gonna stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too.
All right, and I'm signing the dismissal.
You can sign here.
He can also have a motion to withdraw on your docket as well.
Okay,
One of Michael Taylor, your
okay. She's gonna get up, this motion to dismiss.
no problem.
Okay, I just sent it.
Just
She, Attorney Peraza is in trial.
Back of a point on the docket and she needs it.
Okay. Okay, so we have to reset that.
He's on,
Yes.
jury trial.
Who is that? You said it's, you said it's LaPointe?
Yes, Jefferson County Chair.
Zachary LaPointe?
Oh, hold on, this is a different case.
Oh, this is outside.
Just 1 second.
You want him to come in?
Yes. Michael Taylor?
I'm doing what's on.
Call Michael Taylor. Is Michael Taylor here?
I don't know, Your Honor, this was a situation where my office mistakenly signed on to his case instead of
Oh.
his son's case. So.
Okay, well,
It was a junior.
wait. Was that the case when both of them was in court?
Well, he's actually in court three. the
Right,
one
I know, they
representing
came to court that
his
day,
father.
his daddy, he
We-
appeared on Zoom.
No, we approached right here with his father.
Yeah, but we had the son appear on Zoom.
Well, the son is in court three, so I'm representing the son in court three.
Okay, well, I'm
And on
thinking
the
about
felony
another,
case,
I'm
yes.
thinking about another case
So
where,
we approached,
The-
we approached.
yeah, there he goes.
He didn't recognize me, I didn't recognize him, and there was a reason. We never met.
Okay, we had a situation like that where
I put the wrong. wrong
yeah,
case.
but we had a situation like that where we had,
That was the point.
a gentleman said, apparently his daddy had the same name.
He did, it's just
And
juniors.
the
don't-
dad got the reset. The dad case was next door and the son was here. The son appeared on Zoom.
Almost flip flop, except
Yeah,
the son
yeah,
was not on the same day, but he
right,
stood there and I looked at him and I said, do I know you?
right,
He goes, no, do I know you?
right.
I said, you're Michael Taylor. And he said,
Okay, so where is Michael Taylor?
Sorry about that.
We need to make,
I'll step outside and make some calls then.
receive notice.
Oh, that's fine. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand the.
So we just
procedure.
have to, so he's not here, we can probably issue a bond forfeiture.
Not a problem at all. I understand the procedure and I'm certain I'll be notified and I'll be
Felony
here.
case dismissed in April. Okay,
And I'll be here when the time.
Okay.
Time, when I'm notified, I'll come back and
Okay.
we'll try it again.
okay,
How about that?
okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
okay.
Otherwise, we have be excused.
Yes, you may be excused. We're gonna call Taylor.
Where is he?
He's on page 3 of the pre-trial conference docket.
Yes.
We have any, please read, any more, please read? What was the name of the defendant? Who?
Don't think my call.
Oh, he's not on there. What's the cause number? What's the cause number?
It is.
I've done it.
327.
M327 what? 496. And then his full name is Christopher
I
I
know.
don't need to go.
Dollins.
And George Washington.
Okay.
Left a message with Lodge.
Christopher Dollins. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is in session. Court is in session and calls number M327-496. Case is style the state of Texas versus Christopher Lewis Dollins. Mr. Dollins, is that your full name? Yes. Mr. Dollins, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Dollins, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Mr. Dollins, would you please put your hand up? Okay, Mr. Dollins. You're representing your attorney of record is Attorney Dustin Galmore. However, standing in for Attorney Galmore is Attorney Jared Gilthorpe. Does Mr. Gilthorpe have your permission to stand in for Attorney Galmore?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Gilthorpe, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you? Good.
I'm doing fine, thanks. Mr. Gilthorpe, do you waive a record in Mr. Dollins' case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dollins, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Christopher Lewis Dollins, on or about July 20th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of deadly conduct. Mr. Dollins, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Dollins, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes,
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Dollins, I also have before me a document on my tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials on the line next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. You place your initials on this document.
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Dollars, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Dollars, are you a citizen of the United States? State,
For state one.
do you have any objections?
No, sir.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Gilthorpe, you've advised and counseled Mr. Dollars. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
I don't know. No, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Dollars, your attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Mr. Dollars, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, Do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For defendant's plea, the state has offered 1 year deferred probation with a $500 fine, 50 hours community service, forfeiture of the weapon involved in the case, and no contact with the complaining witness, George Bourne.
What's the court cost?
37,
How much?
337.
337. Okay. Mr. Dollars, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a $500 fine, court costs of $337, probation fee of $60 a month, urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. And your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $159 a month. Will you be able to pay the $159 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 50 hours of community service, forfeit the weapon in this case. And I have before me a forfeiture. And this document is titled Motion of Forfeit. Mr. Dollars, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line? It's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Dollars, before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you? And did you read and understand everything in this document? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Dollars, you're requesting that the court forfeit this weapon to the Beaumont Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Dollars, I'll grant this motion to forfeit the weapon to the Beaumont Police Department. And Mr. Dollars is also part of this plea bargaining agreement. You cannot have any contact with the complaining witness, in this case, George Bourne. And you also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Dollars, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Dollars, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Dollars, if you successfully complete this probationary period, you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Dollars, you're gonna stand in front of the court coordinator.
Have a seat if you
Oh,
want.
have a seat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just have a seat. And she's gonna call you back up to the window to finalize the paperwork. And once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Gilthorpe, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Thank you. Now, you're not handling any, I think Gelmore had another case.
That was the only one I was.
Is he gonna be here?
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a vacation letter in on Galmore?
Yes, we do. It's not until the 28th of June. And his, that.
But, well, that was already reset, Max Owen Lithicum?
No, we didn't reset it because his felony was set.
Oh, he has a felony set.
No, his felony was reset on August 19th.
Is he here?
His attorney may have told him not to come. But I'll reset it. With the felony.
Mr. Grove,
Yes, sir.
you have Larry Haller.
Yes, sir. I'd like to ask that to be reset.
Okay.
President.
You can come, Mr. Haller, would you please come forward? Okay, this is cause number M 333-834, case of South State of Texas versus Larry Haller. Mr. Haller, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Haller?
Good.
That's good. Mr. Haller, you represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney David Grove. Attorney Grove, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Grove, what was your announcement?
My announcement was, Judge, we're still trying to finish the case. If I could have a couple more weeks, I think we're close. The prosecutor has contacted the victim, but she hadn't got back with it yet.
That is correct.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put it on the trial docket. It's a pretty old case.
That's fine, Judge.
Okay,
It'll be August 5th.
okay, it's gonna be reset to August 5th of 2024 for trial. Mr. Haller, your attorney's gonna get you reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go.
Okay.
And you have a blessed day.
You too.
Now, we have a Terry Prudhomme.
He has a felony.
Oh, he's in custody.
Case,
Okay.
and his felony case was reset, is what I was told.
Today?
It
Today.
has not been reset.
But they do arise out of the same incident, so they do go hand in hand. I can check to see if it's been reset yet.
Okay.
I'll be happy to wait to see.
I just checked it.
Not yet. But they are the same.
I'm just wondering if, now if you get disposed of,
No, but,
and if it's jail time, we'll have to put it on docket for Thursday.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Now, if he gets probation, they may do a PSI.
it's still on.
Mhm. They may get me to do a PSI, so
Sure.
we'll check the computer.
And depending what he gets, the prosecutor may dismiss this one.
That's true
You
too.
know, I mean, there's lots of things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
You gotta,
you're free to go.
you know, hope for.
And I'll keep you informed about the update, okay?
Are we doing some more, please? Mr. Mitchell, are you handling some of Bruce Smith's cases?
Yes, Judge.
He has another plea.
Yeah, Mr. Ruiz and Mr. Grisham. They've both been filed.
Yeah, please.
You said Ruiz and Grisham.
Yes.
what are they doing on Terry Lewis?
Your Honor, state filed a motion Friday. We're setting a trial today.
You have a copy of that motion? Terry Lewis on the trial docket? Mr. Lewis? Yes. Hold on, she's on.
Oh, no, I filed both.
Okay,
Oh, that was the, yeah, the one we had the one on, they had one on, what's his name? Actually, it was Miss Norman's case.
No big deal.
That
I
was-
was gonna let the court know that you did notify me by phone anyways, so.
I think he said what he did, when he drafted up the motion on yours,
Mhm.
I guess he did
Yeah.
Miss Norman's next,
Gotcha.
but he forgot to, I
I just
deleted the
caught a
name.
little bit as I was walking by, so I
Yeah,
make sure we're all on the same page, that's all.
yeah. Okay. Now, this is cause number M 332-556, case to style the state of Texas versus Tyrone Lewis. Mr. Lewis, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Lewis?
Pretty good.
That's good. Mr. Lewis, you're representing the case by your attorney. Well, your attorney of record in this case is Attorney Bruce Smith. However, Attorney Smith is not here today. Standing in for Mr. Smith is Attorney Brennan Mitchell. Does Mr. Mitchell have your permission to stand in for Attorney Smith?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Attorney Mitchell,
Yes, Judge.
I have before me state's motion for continuance. Hold on a minute. Looks like it's the state's first motion. I don't see any other motions in the file. Now, and Mr. Mitchell,
Yes, Judge.
were you opposed or not opposed to the motion?
Yes, Judge, we are opposed. I spoke with state prosecution on Friday, I believe it was, via text. He did reach out and let me know that he'd be filing the motion. The officer in the motion is not the arresting officer, nor does she play a significant role. Everything that she'd be testifying to is covered by Officer Taylor, who was the arresting officer. Any statements made by my client to Officer Fair will also be to Officer Taylor on the actual scene. Officer Fair didn't show up until the hospital later. She was never on scene. She's not a material witness to the case. This is that case, I don't know if you recall, Judge, where there was miscommunication between myself and the prosecution's office where they were going to dismiss and then they decided not to, and we asked for the fastest
They
setting.
also found from the state.
What's that?
There's still disagreement. And
Well, yeah, like I said, there was miscommunication about what was going to happen. But we asked for the first immediate trial setting and you told us that we would be number one for sure nearly 2 months ago.
Okay. Kevin,
And we're ready to move forward, Your Honor.
okay, stay.
So as you had said, Your Honor, this is state's first motion. And we're, just sort of, to come up with what you're saying, the witness in this case is a material witness because, things that she views on her body camera and interactions with the defendant, goes proving an important element of the case, intoxication. So I would ask the court to grant its first motion for continuance so that the state may bring this, witness that we found to be material and necessary. This is not in any way meant to delay the proceedings, and the state wants to move forward at the next possible setting.
Oh, I'm looking at the motion, right? Could be a typo. Okay,
What's
the case is set for
Oh,
June,
does it-
June the
Oh, I think I
twenty-fourth.
know what you're talking about, Judge.
It's saying that she's
But-
not available for June the 4th.
But in
Not the
the,
24th.
in the prior paragraph, it,
I know it says to, I know, that's why I'm saying it must be a typo. You say she's unavailable to testify the week of June the 24th, 2024. But in the next paragraph, it says that the trial letter was issued by Jefferson County District Attorney's Office to notify the witness of the above referenced trial setting. However, and it has the witness name that I'm not going to mention, it will be on YouTube. A necessary witness in the above referenced criminal matter has informed Jefferson County District Attorney's Office that she will be unavailable for trial on the week of June the 4th, 2024.
in actuality, it's the 24th.
Yeah. So it should have been 24. Okay. Now you're saying that due diligence has been made by the Jefferson County and that they sent out trial letters on the case and calls was made to the witness. The state believes that if the court grants a continuance, the witness. Okay, I'm just looking at, what were you saying?
I said, is she on vacation or what? I mean,
I don't-
Medical
it does-
for our child.
that's okay. I don't even know details. I just,
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, okay, because it didn't have no, it just said that she's unavailable.
yeah.
and the reason why I left that is because it might be
HIPAA violation.
That's fair.
sensitive.
Okay, I understand. Okay, now this is a state's motion for continuance pursuant to Article 29.04. It shall be sufficient upon first motion by the state for continuance if the same be for the warrant of a witness to state the name of the witness. I got his address, if known, or that his address is unknown, or two, the diligence which has been used to procure his attendance, and it shall not be considered sufficient diligence to have cause to be issued or to have applied for a subpoena in the case where the law authorized an attachment to issue and that the testimony of witnesses believed to be by the applicant to be material by the state. The state is saying that it was material. They're saying that they exercise due diligence according to the statute. It says shall, so it's not discretionary.
Understand, Your Honor.
It's mandatory, so the court is going to grant this motion for continuance. He will get a number one setting.
Look, Judge, in going through the file, I noticed that Mr. Smith never filed a motion for the blood discovery from the lab. So I was, Mr. Bruce Smith. And so I would request that the court,
Okay, so y'all gonna be filing it. You say he never filed it?
I guess he never filed a motion for the blood discovery itself.
So you're telling the court that you anticipate that a motion for blood discovery will be filed?
Yes, Judge. I know that this judge, or that this court has a standing order on that.
Right.
So I'd ask that you issue that standing order. I can do a motion, a written motion, but I can do an oral motion now if it's okay with the court.
Well, yeah, we probably need to do, we have to have something in writing to serve upon the DA's office and the agency that that has the that has the materials that you're looking for.
Not a problem,
To be
Judge. I can
tested.
get that file for you today.
Okay. So it usually take a while for the state to get that back to you. So what's the next available court date? I'm trying to see if we can just put enough time in there so you can get it. July 29th. They're not gonna get it in 30 days. I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I know, oh, July 29th. Okay.
Yeah, but I could go.
I mean, I'm a blood, you mean?
Yeah, for the salary. I just want to be able to make sure that I.
I typically don't, but I don't see in here where it was filed.
Well, on the blood discovery, that usually takes a while for y'all to for them to get it to you, right?
Right, unless you see something in your queue that was already filed and
Oh, let me
signed
take a
by the
look.
court judge.
Let me
'Cause
take
I
a
don't
look.
have anything, so I suspect that they didn't file that.
I see subpoena. Come on, man. No. So, no, I don't, wait up. I don't see anything that says that. I think that's a correspondence. It's just general.
Yeah, I don't see
That's
anything
just
on the
letters.
portal page, so.
No. Wait up. No. No, he just was asking for a discovery, just regulation. No.
I'll get that file today, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out how much time we should reset it to give you time to get the blood discovery.
Typically what I'm seeing, I think this one came from Jefferson County Crime Lab, so it should come a little faster. I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you think it's 60 days?
60 to 90, I'd be okay with 90 days to give the
90,
state a little
okay.
bit extra time.
Okay, let's reset. Yeah, reset it for 90 days. And you're gonna get that motion filed?
Yes, Judge, I'll get that
Okay.
file this afternoon.
Okay. Okay. Okay, this case will be reset. She's gonna give us a court date.
Be September 23rd.
September 23rd.
Okay. And we still gonna be a number one setting
Okay, perfect.
trial. Number one. Okay, Mr. Lewis, your attorney's gonna get you reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. I'll make sure you get a copy of that motion.
Okay, now, this is,
Judge, are you ready on Grisham and Ruiz? Reverse?
I don't,
Ruiz.
I see Ruiz, yeah. Um,
Change your sign, please.
Did you, I'll give them one. Thank you.
Ruiz, what docket is Ruiz on?
Announcement, Dr. Jones.
Page. It says on page 8.
Yes. Person.
Here's a man you're looking for.
Oh. Ruiz. Okay. This is cause number M 333-277. The case is South of State of Texas versus Christian Adolfo Ruiz. Mr. Ruiz, is that your full name?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Ruiz, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Ruiz, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Ruiz, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Ruiz? That's good, Mr. Ruiz. Your attorney of record is Attorney Bruce Smith. However, Mr. Smith is not here this morning. Standing in for Attorney Smith is Attorney Brennan Mitchell. Does Attorney Mitchell have your permission to stand in for Attorney Smith?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Mitchell, do you waive a record in Mr. Ruiz's case?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Ruiz, in cause number M 333-277, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Ruiz, it alleges that you, Christian Adolfo Ruiz, on or about June 12th of 2022, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place, Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed a Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Ruiz, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Judge.
And to this charge, Mr. Ruiz, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Judge.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Judge.
You're supposed to check the A box, Class A misdemeanor.
Well, this is the one that you not down to defer. So they
Oh,
have you-
yeah, sorry. I have to, I'm the one that actually has to make the changes.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, so he's abandoning an enhancement paragraph?
That's correct.
Okay. This is on Ruiz. He's abandoning an enhancement paragraph. Because, yeah, she did all of the paperwork under the way he had it up.
Oh, okay.
So make sure that you have to send it back to me.
Okay, could you, okay, I'll send it back to you. Well, he has it. No, no, yeah, I have to send it back to you.
Wouldn't paperwork just be easier?
It's everybody.
Yeah. Here you go. I just sent it back to you. Just hold on a few minutes. Which is. This is Aaron Jacob McElroy. Mr. McElroy, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Motion to withdraw grant, it must be here. Use, oh, that's the guy, okay. No. Oh, what's that? Okay, no phones in the courtroom. Okay? What was I doing? Okay, this is a, UCW. Let me, hold on, let me see if you got, this is on the announcement docket. Is that correct? Yes, on the announcement docket, Mr. McElroy. It should be, I don't see, there it is. Oh, here it is, Aaron Jacob. Okay, I see bond conditions, I just saw it. I was checking it, I thought I saw something saying bond, oh, there you go. Okay, now, Mr. McElroy. How are you doing? That's good. Now, Mr. McElroy, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Kevin Lane. Attorney Lane, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
And Mr. Lane, what is your announcement?
Your Honor, we've received all the discovery and an offer. We're just wanting one more announcement so we can go watch the videos and consider the offer. So one more announcement if we may. I've watched the videos, but Mr. McElroy has not.
Okay, let me, this case must have got withdraw. Who's on it? At one time you was represented by Attorney James Paget, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I see Mr. Paget withdrew, then you hired Mr. Lang, who sent a letter rep on in November 2023. Mr. Lang, the court is gonna put this on a pretrial conference docket.
Yes, sir.
Okay, give us a reset date
What am I doing?
on Aaron Jacob McElroy, page 3 of the announcement docket. We're gonna put it on the pretrial conference docket.
Okay. August 5th?
Okay. Yeah, this case is reset to August 5th, 2024. Mr. McElroy, once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free, okay, you'll be free to go, but before you do that, I guess you had been in court since then, because I think at one time you appearing on Zoom,
Yes, sir.
and then we had a letter wanted you to appear in person. And one of the reasons why I think we're right before you turn off the Zoom. Did I tell you about that? Before you turn off the Zoom, you used some profanity, and the court had caught that. I know you
Yeah,
Probably-
I was on, like,
okay. I thought you probably didn't realize you was on Zoom,
no.
but I just wanted to tell you to make sure if you appear on Zoom, you cannot use any profanity, because even though you're on Zoom, you're in court.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna get your case reset. Once your case is reset, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Me too.
Thank you.
All right,
Judge Woods don't mind you transferring.
okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to transfer this case next door. And Judge Woods, he'll do the plea.
Right now?
No,
He's
he's
not,
gone.
oh, he's down?
He's already.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to transfer it next door.
I agree.
Oh. We finally got Andrew on.
Oh. and do it. Who have the motion? Oh. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number M332784. Case is style of state of Texas versus Martell James Francois Jr. Mr. Francois, is that your full name? Mr. Francois, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Francois, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Mr. Francois, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Francois? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Francois, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Tom Burbank. Attorney Burbank, how are you doing?
Doing fine, Judge.
And Mr. Burbank, I have before me, well, Mr. Burbank, I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon in this case. And Mr. Francois, do you recognize this motion? Is this your signature on the line that's tied to defendant? Now, Mr. Francois, before you signed this document, did your attorney go over this document with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? Is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Francois, are you asking the court to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon to the Port Arthur Police Department? Okay, Mr. Francois, the court is signing this motion. The court is granting this motion to forfeit the weapon, in this case, to the Port Arthur Police Department and state.
State will be submitting a motion for dismissal.
Okay, Mr. Francois, the state will be sending the court a motion to dismiss in this case. That motion, send it to me.
The motion.
The motion is gonna be a motion to dismiss in front. Okay, he just sent it. Okay, oh, this is,
Guys.
that's somebody else. Okay, Mr. Francois, I have that motion to dismiss. And the court is signing the motion to dismiss with forfeiture of the weapon in this case. The attorney will be given a copy of this motion to forfeit, this motion to dismiss. Okay, I just signed it. And your attorney is gonna get this motion dismissed in a few minutes. Once you get a copy of this motion dismissed, and you get a copy from him, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Maybe excuse your honor.
Yes. Yes, that was Francois.
And Ms. McClark.
Which one? Francois was on the pretrial conference document. You have Latrick Williams?
Well,
Okay. Mr. Williams, please come forward. This is cause number 23 CCCR or 1338. Case, and you have another case, cause number 24 CCCR 1336. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Latrick J. Williams. On the previous case, 1336, it doesn't show that Mr. Burbank is the attorney of record in the case.
yeah, it's not ours.
Okay, so you have a felony case, is that correct? What's the status of your felony case?
We were supposed to take care of it last morning, but the court was canceled.
Okay. Did they give you another court date or it's gonna come to you later on? Oh, they reset it for Wednesday? So that's the 26th.
Everybody's going.
So we're gonna reset this case for, these cases for June the 26th, which is Wednesday. Okay?
That's for a little, can you give me a couple of weeks after that, Judge?
Oh, I was just wondering if these cases, if the case is gonna be disposed of. Y'all need more time?
I haven't got to speak with defense on this.
Okay,
I just asked for some more time, because
Okay.
I know that
okay,
there's gonna be other things going on Wednesday was.
okay. Let me see. We're gonna give us a reset date. He needs more time.
I mean,
Just a standard reset.
okay, August fifth.
Okay, this case, or these cases will be reset to August 5th.
And they may
Now,
be taken care of before then. but,
Okay. case will be reset to August 5th, 2024. Your attorney's gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go. And we need a letter rep on the second case.
Would love to give them a letter of rep, Judge, if I collect. them all.
I understand. I understand, but I mean, other than that, you give him the second reset. The case that Mr. Burbank is not on, we're gonna get that reset to Mr. Williams, because he's actually pro se on that. Okay,
Okay.
unless,
Maybe excuse for that day, Judge.
yeah, make sure we got all your cases.
Well,
But what about Arsenio Dante? What's that? Dante Robinson?
I'm not sure. Which is-
He's here?
Mr. Robinson should have been here.
Okay.
There it is.
Come on, would you come forward, Mr. Robinson?
What docket is that on, Judge?
Announcement docket, the first case. Mr. Robinson, your full name is Arsenio Dante Robinson? Mr. Robinson, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Burbank. Mr. Burbank, what's your announcement? I see he has a felony case set.
Right. He had a felony case set today. They made an offer. Within that offer, the misdemeanor was to be dismissed. He requested 30 days because he had some things he needed to take care of. It is a deferred offer. So we'd ask that it be reset for the 30 days whenever.
Did they give you a court date yet? Oh, they haven't given you a court date. We can just, okay.
They haven't given a court date, but part of the plea bargain is a dismissal of this.
Okay. Okay. So, our court coordinator will be checking the computer. Once she gets a date, she's gonna send it to your attorney and your bondsman. This is, Arsenio Robinson on page 1, the first case on page 1 of the announcement document. And you have the one on the trial docket, is that Jorge Gonzalez?
Yeah, just put it in. Let me know, okay?
It has a continuance in that one, Judge.
Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor. In anticipation of what I was set for today, I was set 1 and 2 on 2 murder charges in the 252nd. 4:30 yesterday, was advised that the trial docket was canceled. I am not ready to proceed on this case. So I filed a motion for continuance.
Oh,
No.
I'm
on
looking
that.
at a state's motion too.
You had state's motion too?
On who?
Oh, I thought it was my motion.
No, it was my motion.
Oh, I'm ready.
Jorge Gonzalez, George Gonzalez?
I thought it was my motion, Judge, because I anticipated being in, yeah, I'm ready now. I anticipated not being here, Judge, because it was going, I had 1 and 2.
Okay, Gonzalez, hold on. Look like this is the state's first motion. Well, that's the second, okay. Yes, the state's motion. Unavailable to medical. Okay, now you post the state's motion?
No, Your Honor, because I was
Okay.
not going to be ready, to do the felon.
Okay,
Is this the state's second motion?
I'm looking at, I saw something said, I'm looking at her motion for back. Why would you, so, unless they file, let me see, May 8th, 2020.
It's most likely in supporters if that's the case.
Yeah, is it the same person? Mingling? The,
That's the crime analyst. from
yeah, the crime analyst wasn't available on that one. On this one, it was, police officer. Medical. Okay, so yeah, you're not opposed?
No,
Okay,
and I'm hoping maybe for the next time we can work.
okay. Okay,
I'll get the recent one.
okay, it'll be granted. Yeah, you're gonna keep it on the trial.
Right, yeah, it'll be in my office. Okay. All right, I'll see you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yeah,
Here you go.
This is doing the job. What? Anytime?
Come on up, Mr. Ruiz. Let's see. Now, Mr. Ruiz, you're still under oath or previously swore you in. What docket is he on?
Announcement.
Ruiz. Okay. Now, Mr. Ruiz. This is the one that. Okay, that's right. She had to redo the paperwork. She had to redo the paperwork. Now, you had previously entered a plea of guilty to the DWI, to DW, well, class B DWI, is that correct? Mr. Ruiz, which allegedly occurred on or about June 12th of 2022, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas.
Yes, Judge. You said class B this time?
Wasn't it,
It was a class A, but
it was,
the state
yeah,
reduced it.
they abandoned the, yeah.
I'm not sure it was correct, that's all.
Okay, so the state had a previously abandoned enhancement paragraph, making this charge a lesser included charge, which is a class B misdemeanor. You understand that?
Yes, Judge.
And again, to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Judge.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Judge.
I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Oh, you gotta check the box. There's the DWI B box. It's right there, race down. It's right below it. It's a class B misdemeanor.
Yeah. Well, you want the first offense checked?
Where it says DWI first offense, it's B. It's a class, that's what
I've
it
got,
is.
I've got B checked.
I know, but it's,
Okay, I
the
got you.
punishment range is different. Yeah, the punishment range for regular class B is 0 days to 180 days, and this was a minimum of 72 hours to 180 days. So if his
Originally.
probation gets revoked, the court cannot give it below 72 hours. Okay.
If you get rid of it, you're not going to.
Okay, so yes, so the punishment range for Class B DWI is minimum 72 hours to a maximum of 180 days in the county jail, a fine that does not exceed $2,000. We give them both such fine and confinement. Do you understand that? The point range of punishment for a Class B DWI.
Yes, Judge.
Also have before me on this document a set of initials, CAR, on the line next to a box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on the second page of this document?
Yes, Judge.
On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Judge.
And on the next document, there's titled trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Judge.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, Judge.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, Judge.
I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, Judge.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Ruiz, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, Judge.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, Judge.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, Judge.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
Mr. Ruiz, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, Judge.
Stand for stage one.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. You advised in counsel, Mr. Ruiz. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, it's good, Judge.
Hey, Mr. Ruiz, you've been advised and counseled by your attorney, Mr. Brendan Mitchell. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Judge.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Judge.
You've also been advised and counseled by your attorney, Bruce Smith. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Judge.
Has he provided fully effective and competent representation?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Ruiz, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For defendant's plea, the state has offered 18 months deferred probation with $1,000 fine, 30 hours community service, the installation of an interlock device, and DWI for exterior conditions of probation.
What is this court cost?
370.
Okay. A state, Mr. Ruiz is offering that you serve 18 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 and a DPS fine of $100. You'll also be required to pay court costs of $377. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $6 for the urinalysis fee, $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County initial evaluation and DWI education fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $167 a month. Will you be able to pay the $167 each month?
Yes, Judge.
You will also be required to perform 30 hours of community service. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll be required to attend and complete a DWI education class. You also will be required to have an alcohol assessment and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Mr. Ruiz, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Judge.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Judge.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Ruiz, I will follow the plea bargaining agreement that you've entered into with the state. And Mr. Ruiz, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure, or any one of your attorneys about the non-disclosure, because they're quite competent in those matters. Now, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you're finished following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yes.
McCoy Grisham.
Yeah.
Mr. Grisham. I have before me 3 cases. And they are cause numbers 23CCCR 1459, cause number 23CCCR 0385, and cause number 24CCCR 0416. All 3 cases are styled the state of Texas versus is that McCoy Caleb Lee Grisham?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Grisham, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Grisham, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Grisham, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Grisham? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Grisham, you're represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney Bruce Smith. However, standing in for Mr. Smith on these 3 cases is Mr. Brennan Mitchell. Does Mr. Mitchell have your permission to stand in for Attorney Smith?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Mitchell, do you waive a record in do you waive a record in Mr. Grisham's case?
All 3 of them,
On
Judge.
Mr. Grisham's cases?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Grisham, in cause number 23CCCR 1459, I have before me a document that is titled information sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Mr. Grisham, it alleges that you, McCoy Grisham, on or about February 20th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense, possession of dangerous drugs. Mr. Grisham, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
To this charge, Mr. Grisham, how did you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes,
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Grisham, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. You recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, MG, on the line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document on paper that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Grisham, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Grisham, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State,
State up or state one?
any
No
objections?
objections, Judge.
No objection, states exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Mitchell, you've advised and counseled Mr. Grisham, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor, he's good.
And Mr. Grisham, your attorney, Mr. Mitchell, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Schmidt has also advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Grisham, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
But for defense plea, the state has offered 1 year deferred probation with $300 fine and 60 hours community service. This offer is to run concurrent with the other dangerous drugs case, 24 CCCR 0385, and the UCW 24 CCCR 0416 will be dismissed for forfeiture.
Okay. What is this, Ms. Courthouse? What is this courthouse? Okay, Mr. Grisham, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation on this case. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $277. You're required to pay a probation fee, $60 a month. You're now supposed to pay $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required. Now, you'll be required to pay a total monthly fee, that is a total amount each month of $136 a month. Will you be able to pay the $136 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. This case will run concurrent with cause number 24CCCR 0385, and the state will be dismissing cause number 24CCCR 0416. Mr. Grisham, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Grisham, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Grisham, we're gonna move on to your next case. And your next case is cause number 24CCCR 0385. And in this case, Mr. Grisham, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. And this information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, McCoy Caleb Lee Grisham, on or about August 16th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of dangerous drugs. Mr. Grisham, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
To this charge, Mr. Grisham, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Plead guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Grisham, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Grisham, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials MG on the line next to the boxes titled guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature at the bottom of this document on line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
And at the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case. You have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Grisham, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for stakes 1.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. And Mr. Mitchell, you advised and counseled Mr. Grisham in this case. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally competent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Grisham, your attorney, Mr. Mitchell has advised and counseled you in this case. Are you satisfied with his representation in this case?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Smith has also advised and counseled you in this case. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Gresham, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
As with the previous case and to run concurrent with the previous case, the state has offered 1 year deferred probation with a $300 fine and 60 hours community service. The UCW will be dismissed for forfeiture.
Okay, now in this case, there's no fine. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, I was looking at the tablet. Now, there's no, community services also waived. Is that correct?
And I believe that was just an effort to make sure that they weren't, those numbers weren't contemplated twice.
Okay. Okay. It's the same, right? 277 court costs. This is it. Okay. Okay, now, Mr. Grisham, the state is offering that you serve 12 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 12-month probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $277. You're also required to pay probation fee of $6 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. Now, the probation fee, the analysis fee, and the reimbursement fee in actuality is going to be, you won't have to pay that because you already, this probation will be running concurrent with your other case. So you only pay it one time. And so even though your paperwork is going to show that you're required to pay those fees, and if it'll show that you're required to pay $108 a month in this case.
Okay.
However, because you already paying those fees in the companion case, you only be required to pay the court costs, and that's going to be divided. And so you only be required to pay $25 a month. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, the probation department, will we do that? His paperwork, where he won't have to pay the fine and court costs.
Right out, since they didn't put it on the police, I just put wait so they won't.
No, not the fine and court costs. The probation fee, the urinalysis fee, and the reimbursement
They're
fee.
gonna do all of it.
Yeah, they're gonna do that at the probation office. And so when they look at both judgments, they're gonna realize you're on probation, and so you won't have to pay the probation fee, urinalysis fee, and the reimbursement fee on the second case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you able to pay that?
$108 a month?
Yeah, $108 a month, but in actuality, you'll be paying $25 a month.
Oh, yes, sir.
You'll be able to pay that. Now, there is no community service hours that's required in this case because the community service is waived.
Okay.
All right. This case will run current with cause number 24 CCCR 1459. And the state will be dismissing cause number 24 CCCR 0416. And I have before me a document for forfeiture of the weapon in cause number 24 CCCR 0416. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir. Did.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir. I
And
did.
is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking the court to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon, in this case, to the Jefferson County Sheriff Department?
Yes, sir.
All right. The court is going to grant this motion, forfeiting the weapon to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. And state, I'll be signing the dismissal in clause number 24 CCCR 0416. Now, Mr. Grisham, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Grisham, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Grisham, if you successfully complete probation in both cases, these cases will be dismissed. Will not result in a conviction on your record. You may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to any one of your attorneys about the non-disclosure because they're quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Grisham, this will conclude your case. Please stand in front of our court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day,
May I be dismissed?
and you may be excused, Mr. Mitchell.
And hold, don't leave on your copy, you get a copy of the dismissal.
Like that.
Okay. We have, who is Cleveland? We got Cleveland Thomas, who's that?
That was the add-on.
Okay,
Smith, and I did check.
okay, before. Next case is, cause number M, do we do anything on Edmondson? Dale and Tyrell Edmondson? Mr. Edmondson, your full name is Dale and Tyrell Edmondson? How you doing, Mr. Edmondson? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mr. Edmondson. You're represented in your case by your attorney Marcus Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Wilkerson, what is your announcement in Mr. Edmondson's case?
Your Honor, we'd like to go ahead and place this on a trial docket. We're willing, defense is willing to waive jury trial.
Yeah, okay. There's a form. Give him that waiver. I think it's in the next set. It's gonna be, that's it? Yeah.
Here's the waiver.
Okay.
That door was locked.
Mr. Hubel? The defense is waiving a jury trial in this case.
My apologies.
I did everything.
Okay, so we're gonna give us a trial setting? Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah.
You're gonna do a waiver of a jury trial. We can get almost, what date, Mr. Hubel. They doing a waiver with jury trial, so we need to set it,
Give me, if you can give me a standard reset, Your Honor.
standard reset.
August fifth.
Oh, okay, that's good.
That'll work. for us.
Okay. Reset, jury trial, August 5th. Mr. Edmondson, you're gonna get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Wilkerson, you're free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. It's gonna be on the trial docket, but it's gonna be a bench trial.
She is not responding.
The line is not responding, Judge.
I sent a text to them. No, that happened.
Are you saying one to the Matuska as well?
Yeah. I didn't.
Okay, this is cause number 23CCCR 1180, case of Solid State of Texas versus Perry Lee Harrison. Mr. Harrison, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Harrison? You doing all right? That's good. Mr. Harrison, you represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Wright Kimler. Attorney Kimler, how are you doing?
Well, Your Honor, thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Kimler, what's your announcement in Mr. Harrison's case?
Trial, Your Honor.
Reset it for trial. Give us a trial date.
July 29th.
Okay, this case will be reset for trial July 29th, 2024. Mr. Harrison, your attorney gonna get you reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you will be free to go and you have a blessed day.
He says July 29th.
July 29th.
July 29th.
Aren't you up August?
Always, yeah.
Huh? What?
Got a vacation letter.
Yeah, was it? Oh.
When is it? How many days we have in July?
Well, we do go to the 31st, so.
Well, that's 3 days.
You be through.
Yeah.
Last one I tried, it was all week.
Yeah.
We started
Wow.
on Thursday.
Okay, well,
I'm just saying.
what y'all want me to do?
Put him on, keep him on it.
Reporter on that day.
Huh?
That's
Put him
what
on the
we're doing.
29th. Put him on the, keep him on the
It goes
29th.
in August, we just come back in September.
This is evading arrest. Okay.
I
Shouldn't be
understand.
that bad.
But we're gonna pick a jury that day, so,
Got airplane ticket reservation.
okay, well, we'll be here after 5,
Yeah.
okay? Okay, we're gonna reset it. Now, next case is cause number 23CCCR 2378, case is James Dale Dennis, is that correct?
Yes, you are. The state has a continuance on this one as well.
Mr. Dennis, you come forward. That's Mr. Kimler's case.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that.
Who?
James Dale Dennis. Oh, Dale James Dennis.
What's that?
He's on page 1 of the trial docket. It said his case was, I see in January, was reset to hire an attorney.
Harrison.
And, oh, you said the state has a motion in this one?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is, right here.
Who?
And I see it as, it's not opposed, is that correct? Okay,
That door is locked, sir.
restate.
Sir, that door is locked.
It's like, yeah, you have to go through the other door.
Mhm.
Okay, this case will be reset. Give us a reset for trial on Mr. Dennis.
Hey, should we do July 29th again or just go
Yeah.
September?
We didn't put in that.
Huh?
We were on the
Go to
29th.
September.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, just put it on the same day.
Same day, okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Foxhall, you don't hear that?
Hold on.
Foxhall.
Andrew has also. He said he has continuance.
Dale, hold on, let me sign this here motion. That was Mr. Dennis, right?
Yeah.
That was Mr. Dale James Dennis. Okay. Hold on, wait, I need to sign this.
Yeah.
John.
Here you go. Next case is Mr. That was Harrison. LaPointe. Donovan Foxall.
Foxhall. we will, yeah.
They also has a motion on this case, Your Honor.
You do?
I do.
Yes, here.
This.
The state have a
this I believe-
motion on this one as well.
This, I believe, the state's first on this case.
Did, you get a copy of it? Mark?
Yes, sir. We're on the phone.
You unopposed? Okay, here you go. Oh. Go to state motions.
Dennis? Dale Dennis.
State's first motion for continuance. Okay, Mr. Foxall. The state had filed a motion, first motion for continuance. The attorney is not opposed, so this case is gonna be reset. What's that reset date?
July 29th.
We can't find it.
Said July 29th, 2024. Okay. State,
And if I don't find them, we're not gonna be able to do anything about it.
One more.
yeah, Mr. Foxall, Mr. Foxall, I want you to defend the person who, I guess had trouble getting an attorney to represent you, right?
Yeah, you told me.
I gave you your final reset, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So when you talk about it's taking long, it took us a long time for us to, for us to get an attorney to represent you, remember that?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
At the same time.
Oh, at the same time, you was finagling,
What you told me.
Yeah,
The last straw.
that was, Dan, you finally got an attorney. And so your attorney is here now. All right? All right, so now, okay, so we got it started. So this case, the court has just signed the reset. For your case to be set for trial on that date, we should take care of it, okay?
All right, last minute.
All right.
Here you go.
Now, Mr. Sample, we did, the court has, okay, just hold on a minute. What we're gonna do, we're gonna see if she called and left a message, at the, in the office of our court coordinator, okay? She may have called, but when we in here, the phones, no one is there other than the receptionist, and we haven't received the calls wasn't transferred in the court. Okay? So, thanks for being patient with us. You can have a seat. You don't have to stand there. Just take a seat right there.
Should be right.
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in clause number M 326-410. Case is filed state of Texas versus Michael Glenn Taylor. Michael Glenn Taylor was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's pretrial conference docket on today's date of June 24, 2024. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Michael Taylor at the courthouse door. Michael Taylor did not answer. Michael Taylor has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. Michael Taylor's attorney, James Padgett, did appear. The time now is 12:43 p.m. on today's date. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Michael Taylor at the courthouse door? Michael Taylor's name was just called at the courthouse door. Michael Taylor did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Taylor an opportunity to appear in court. He is not appearing in court. State, do you have a motion? That motion would be granted. Michael Taylor's bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest. This will conclude the calling of the court's pretrial conference docket, trial docket, and the announcement docket. All three dockets scheduled on today's date of June 24, 2024. In County Court at Law number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day. And prosecutors, you are excused. Thank you. You're welcome.
Don't forget to sign.